Anthony Down Air Podcast back for another episode. We're talking about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial, day 13 in the books. We'll recap the day, share everything that happened, tell you what's coming up, and we have a Drew Barrymore apology attached to this, Frankie C.
Attached to this?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Naomi Judd, cause of death revealed. Very, very sad. We'll talk about it. Plus, Elon Musk takes NBC to the woodshed. I believe this is MSNBC. Yeah.
How old are you? Got to read them the Riot Act. If you're not careful.
Giving them the business, my friend.
The old what for?
The old what for. That might be the best one. The old what for.
That is a good
might
one.
Be the best one. Yeah, I like that. That's my favorite one. Plus, is Putin transferring power? Teasies. Ulta's huge screw up with Kate Spade. Wiener arm guy is back. Pete Davidson's new tattoos are scary. Bill Murray addresses the accusations, and we got the trailer for the George Carlin documentary, which is going to be coming out on HBO. I am very excited about it. We're talking about all that and more right here on this episode. Frankie C along for the ride as per usual. How you doing, big dog?
I'm doing good as per usual.
Nice. It's a douchey start to this episode, isn't it?
Well, that's your fault.
Day 13 of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and we've got the news outside of the court that, are you ready for this? She has fired her PR team.
I didn't know she had a PR team at this. I mean, what were they doing this whole time?
What have they been doing? That's exactly right. Where are you and what have you been doing?
I guess good call on her part. They haven't been doing anything.
Yeah, because PR is not what has been occurring in your little case here. You're just losing and she specifically cited she doesn't like the way the direction of the trial is going.
No.
And how her team is losing on a daily basis. It's like, you're not losing on a daily basis. You're getting shellacked on a daily basis.
Well, not for nothing, but what have you got to work with? I mean, the case pretty strong in Depp's favor. What could they do?
Liar, liar's famous. Stop breaking the law, asshole. Right? You always bring that up. It's true. It's true. You know, it's hard for the PR team to do a good job when your client's a huge doucher.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much vinegar in the world. There's a douche. There was a joke there. I don't know. Welcome to the show. This is what you got to look forward to.
This is basically it. Ain't going to be much better than that, I'll tell you what. So, yeah, fired her PR team. Doesn't like how it's going, obviously.
So does this mean she's in the market for a PR team?
She's hired a new team.
She's hired a new team already. That's quick.
Could you imagine? I mean, listen, I mean, I know that, like, from a PR standpoint, it's good to have a high profile client. However, I mean, you're going into a situation where you cannot win.
Yeah, you want to have a high profile client, but when there's nothing to relate, hard to be in. And I lost Anthony.
Oh, say that again. Yeah, I got you.
It takes all the magic out of what I just said.
Sorry, go ahead. Say it again.
When you've got nothing to relate to the public, you can't do a very good job with public relations. See, it was better the first time I said it. You had to be there, unfortunately.
Damn technical glitches from the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say it's like taking a case where you know your client's guilty, but that didn't work out too bad for the O.J. Simpson lawyers, actually, now they look back on it.
They kind of pulled it off.
They kind of made it happen. But yeah, it's like you're going to lose, and you got to kind of go in there and make it happen anyway. So
yeah,
I don't know. Good on the new PR team. We'll see what they can do. That is part A of this story.
Yeah, you got to make some magic where there's no magic. That's a PR team.
That's what a PR team does. But you better be a miracle worker. I mean, you need
Oh.
Mother Teresa on this PR team to make this work.
Am I wrong? I don't know if she's gonna pull through for that.
Mother Teresa would have her friggin' hands full going, what do you expect here? A miracle? It's not on demand kind of thing.
You literally, you shit the bed. And it's not just an expression in this case.
You think that comes up in like the screening? Like, what do you think is the biggest obstacle in taking me on as a client? You shit in a bed and everybody knows about it.
Everybody knows, and nobody's on your side for it.
Yeah. And nobody is going to forget anytime soon that you took a shit in not just a bed, but one of the biggest actors that we have's bed.
And you tried to blame it on the two tiniest dogs in the world.
Innocent little puppies were caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool at all, Frankie C. Not cool at all. All right, I tell you what's not cool.
What is cool, though?
Go ahead.
Jack me off for $8 in the chat.
That's a specific price. Are you sure that's what you want?
Here's what happened there. He explains in his super chat. He went down to, what did he go to, Vegas? Was it a casino? He went to a casino. We don't know where. Went with 600, returned with 680. So 10% of the profit to AOA is $8. No hot rolls, just an okay craps table. Maybe next time, Janie, where you at? So.
Okay, now this has never ever happened to me where I've gone to a casino and returned with just $80 more. That's never ever happened.
I don't know if I've ever returned with any kind of.
Yeah. It sounds like he was about to lie about.
I think my mic's dying. Let me change my battery.
No, I can hear you. Go ahead.
You got me? All right.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever come back from a casino ahead of the game.
No. Okay. So I've come back. You've never won.
I've won. You know what the problem is? I win early. I win when I get there. And then what are you going to do for the rest of the time? You have to play. And then it's all gone.
We've all been there where you hit for like 400 or 500 or something.
And what are you going to stop playing?
I'm going to take it easy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm here for 3 more days and I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah, I know. And then you before you know it, you're like down 400. You're like, what happened here? What was the problem?
I mean, you got to play. It's the only thing to do there.
No, I've won and done okay. Or I've lost everything. I've never been like, oh, I'm back. I won 80. Or I've never been like, yeah, about even. Or like, oh, I won 50. Like I've never won a minuscule amount of money like that. Either
That's weird.
Like I'm up a few hundred or whatever, or I've flushed it all. There's just no way.
Oh,
like to be up 8. Like I couldn't have walked out of that casino being up. If I would have counted, are you following me? If I would have counted, oh, I'm up $80, I would have put the $80 on something before I walked out the door. I couldn't walk out with $80.
That's kind of always been my dream, to walk in to whatever I brought with me that I planned on gambling. I've always wanted to walk up to a roulette table, put it all on one color, and double it instantly. And I attempted something like that when we went to Vegas. I didn't put everything I had, but I went in and I was like, you know what? I'm going to test this out. See if this would actually have worked. So I went up to a roulette table. I put $100. I forget if it was red or black, but the other one came up. I was like, okay, down 100 instantly.
There is not a craps. What's the other one? Roulette. There's a roulette system.
Yeah, you got to like double it if you lose.
Yeah.
Which can get hairy if you lose like 5 in a row.
It can get very, very, very hairy.
Yeah,
for
that's
people
not great.
If you don't know, like let's say you're betting $10, you go in and you bet $10 on black. If you lose, you bet $20 the next time. If you win, you put that money away and then you bet $10. You start over again. But if you lose, you have to keep doubling your bet, which basically brings you back to even. So any of the hands that you won, you would technically be up that much. But like Frank said, you go on an 8 in a row losing streak, or you start doing this not with $10 but with $100, and next thing you know,
start doubling
1,000 down, and things get crazy hairy fast.
Yeah, you can lose control of that pretty quick if you're not comfortable losing that amount of money,
Yeah.
don't put on the table what you're not comfortable losing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule.
All right. Now, Jack says, here's a tip, Ant. If you're up money and things trend south, always go and cash in something. Never give all the profits back. I know those are English words because I read them. I just don't know what they mean.
If you're up money and things trend south, start going down. Okay. If you start losing, always go and cash in something.
Like a stock or a bond? Because I've done that. I've been there where it's like, oh, it's trending south. I know I got this bond my grandmother bought me when I was 5. Let's go cash it in and fucking ride this streak back to good. Is that what he means?
I think I know what he means.
I've done that, Frank.
No. He means that, let's say you start with 500 and you go up to 800.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you start dropping. Go cash out. Take away, put stuff away so that you can remain ahead of the game even if you start to lose.
How are you going to go on a big run then?
Well, therein lies the rub.
Sounds like you're buying a ticket to Loserville if you do it that way. I like to leave with nothing. I like to walk away going, shit, I worked really hard for that money and now it's all gone.
I like to leave a casino wondering how I'm going to pay to get my car out of the parking lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's living, my friend. That's when you know you're alive.
Then they go, $10, please, and you go, do you take out of state checks that might bounce?
I like here's how you know you're doing it right. When your landlord comes and goes, do you have this month's rent? And I go, I had it, but I don't have it.
Yeah, at one point I've had it. When I was like 10 years ago, I had it.
Right. I had it before I went to Atlantic City, but I don't have it now. Yeah. But here's the good news.
Someone's got it.
I'm going back, and I think I can double it up. Do you want to give me 500 and get in on this plan I got cooking here? Because I got a new roulette scheme that I've just worked out, and I think it's going to be really good. That
sounds bulletproof, my friend.
That's how you know you're alive.
I don't see a downside to any of that.
Yeah. It's not a life worth living.
I think 1-800-GAMBLER is the number for anybody taking this guy's advice.
I would never call that number. Here we go. Trump losing $10,000 a day for not producing documents. He's a high roller. That's similar to how your old pal Ant likes to gamble in Atlantic City. Just be like, I don't know how this is going to end, but we'll figure it out when we get to we'll know when we get to the end. I just don't know when that end is.
It's just basically you have a fistful of cash and you're predicting profit somehow, but getting there is the problem.
Getting there is not the prompt. See, it's the opportunity, my friend. It's the journey. That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing. That's where it all comes into play.
Okay.
All right. I wish we had Jay Sebster for this part, but I'm sure she's on her way. Drew Barrymore is apologizing for making light of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. That was a big huff. What's the matter, pal?
In what way? What did she say?
Does it matter?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you, does it matter?
Yeah.
It does?
It matters what she said.
It matters what she said?
Yeah, if she said,
okay.
If she called Amber Heard Adolf Hitler, that's an apology.
Well, let me put it this way. It's Drew Barrymore. It's not Andrew Dice Clay. Like, do you
That doesn't matter.
She said anything remotely horrific?
I'm sure it wasn't anything, that it probably doesn't need an apology. I think I read what it was, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
You are correct, sir. Doesn't need an apology. She was making light. She was making fun. She was basically saying, and this is great advice from somebody who's been in public life. She's saying, like, I've been there. I know what it's like to have your life broadcast out for everybody. But she's basically saying none of these people needed to do this. There didn't need to be a lawsuit or a counter lawsuit. They're all putting their business out for everybody to see and hear. And they could have fucking settled this behind closed doors. It was kind of the gist of what she's saying.
Well, that's any divorce or whatever's going on. You can always settle it somewhere else, not in court. But when you can't agree, you have to go to court sometimes.
Right. Here comes the left crazies trying to make her feel bad, going, well, you're making light of mutual abuse and all this and that and all these things. And now she's forced to put an apology on Instagram.
It's come to my attention that I have offended people with making light of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And for that, I just want to deeply apologize and appreciate everyone who spoke out.
I mean, this is like, et cetera, so on and so forth. Is this, I'm going to ask you an honest question. I'm serious here. Is this like S&M in the bedroom, like, you know, whipping?
Wait. This is a serious question.
Serious question.
Okay, go ahead.
This
Continue.
is a serious question.
Okay.
And I would love to pose this to any of my left-wing people that are listening. Is this like an S&M thing where it's like, we get in the bedroom and I want you to whip me around a little bit and act like I'm scared, but I'm really in control because I'm paying for it or whatever the case is. Like, you know how people do that shit. Is that what this is like? Because it feels like with all these left people, they act like normal human beings, and then somebody else goes, that offends me, and then they come out and do this like whole apology thing, and I think they get off on it. I think there's some sort of a fucking thing here where it's like, let's apologize, let's act like we care, when this woman did absolutely nothing wrong. She's a daytime TV talk show host.
I still don't know what she said.
Who's talking about things she's supposed to be talking about.
But what did she say?
You need to hear the exact things of what she said.
What if she said something, that needs apologizing?
Again, I put the question to you. Can Drew Barrymore on daytime television really rattle them cages enough to
you know how many people on daytime television have had to apologize for shit?
For anything worth apologizing for anything.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even remember the last time somebody on daytime TV did something and I was like, that apology is warranted.
Well, you don't think any apology is warranted.
That's right, because they are quite insincere.
Are they bouncing a giant rubber ball off a spring? What the hell?
Jay Sabs is getting into it. She's getting settled. How you doing there, kiddo?
Hey.
Okay, yeah, there was something up with this microphone. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, you look and sound like $1 million. We're talking
Are you
about
being sarcastic?
Not at all. We're talking about Drew Barrymore and the fact that she apologized today for what she said about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Did you hear this?
What exactly did she say?
Thank you.
This seems to be important to everybody, and I don't know why. Because it's not important to me whatsoever.
Well, Bird with the super chat just wanted to say happy birthday, Miss Justice. Yes, happy birthday, Miss Justice. Thank you for being a part of the show. Appreciate it.
When is Miss Justice's birthday? Do we?
I'm assuming today, but I don't
Nobody
know.
told me.
Yeah, Miss Justice brings up a good point. Whoopi Goldberg, didn't she apologize for?
Yeah, that was
stuff.
Dumb.
Did
that
you
was dumb.
think that was apology?
I can't even remember what the hell she was talking.
See,
Do you remember what it was?
No. So that's the point. We apologize, we forget, and we move on.
That's the other thing. If it can't even last 4 weeks, it's not worth apologizing over. It's got to be so bad.
That's what she said.
It sticks around for 4 fucking weeks.
Well, how do you know if it's going to last that long?
That's what she said.
I don't know. We'll have to develop some sort of a formula here. Okay, here's what she said. Blah, 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 blah. She was with Anthony Anderson on Friday as a guest, and she said, it's like 1 layer of crazy. It's a 7-layer dip of insanity.
Okay, so that's it.
How dare she?
I know that these are two people's real lives, and I know what it's like to have your life put out in public. I understand all the feelings, but they are actually offering up this information that nobody had to know. This is crazy.
What is she? She didn't even make. She said she'd apologized for making light of the abuse. She didn't. That wasn't even a joke. I didn't see any. She compared it to a 7-layer cake. That's not even a joke. That's just a metaphor.
It's commentary from a TV person who's supposed to be commenting on things in the middle of the day for people who don't have jobs.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I don't even know.
Oh.
I'm saying
you did that on purpose.
They're selling dish soap. I don't see how any of this shit is fucking offensive.
That's not. I wouldn't even know what part of that is offensive. This is why.
I understand that making light of abuse is a thing that probably would be apologized for, but I don't see that here. I don't hear her saying anything about abuse. She said that everything that's going on is crazy. Is it not?
It's a 7-layer dip of insanity. Not a bad line, honestly. I'd love to see one of you guys come up with a line that fucking good. To be totally honest,
you're in that room.
Yeah,
you're
true.
in this group too, pal. The onus is on you as well.
Yeah, I know, but I'm projecting right now. Go with me.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's none of it is offensive. Yet she's fucking wearing. I'm gonna pull up her thing now. You got me crazy. She's fucking wearing her like offstage glasses to make her fucking sincere little apology that everybody.
All right. You know what? Everybody wants to be liked, and if you offend one person, it doesn't hurt you to say I'm sorry. It can only
Yes, it does.
help.
Yes, it does.
Okay. It hurts to say I'm sorry.
You know why? Because that just sets a precedent for.
The precedent is already set. It's over.
Let me finish.
It's over. I know what you're going to say, but go ahead. Go ahead.
How do you know what I'm going to say?
Because
you're a
precedent,
man, you know everything.
No, because I know you as a friend, and I know what you're going to say. Oh.
Yeah, what am I going to say?
You're going to say it sets a precedent so that nobody could say anything or make a joke without having to apologize for it. Maybe not verbatim about what I said, but that's the gist.
Well, what I was really going to say was that it's no apology is going to be sincere then from now on. It's going to be like it's meaningless. And to me, don't say you're sorry if you're not sorry. If you truly like, I don't understand.
What if they are?
I don't think she is. She probably had to be told, just like everybody else in the past 5 fucking years. Whoop, you have to say you're sorry, or else it looks bad. And I'm sure that. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think she's? First of all, I'd like you to apologize for that F word, Janine. That was very hard.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that she was? Do you think this is a sincere apology, Frank? Just curious.
I don't know. I think she's sorry that there are people who, if they were offended, there were people that were offended. I think she's a very nice person, not knowing her personally, but just knowing her persona. I feel like she's a very nice person, and so she doesn't want to piss off anybody. So she's going to apologize when she steps on anybody's toes. So I think it's sincere coming from her. She doesn't seem like a phony kind of person.
I don't know, like in this day and age, if fucking Palmolive or the fucking reverse mortgage company gets a little upset, they're going to dial into the thing and be like, hey, can she apologize? Because the people we're trying to hawk reverse mortgages to got a fucking offended.
Well, I feel like that's always been the case. When your sponsors are pissed, you have to kind of make amends.
Right, when it's not even that, because the people who rely on reverse mortgages are from a different era. They don't give a shit about any of this stuff. It's some woke asshole on Twitter who starts the thing, and 6 people follow along, and then suddenly she's in the corner office having to talk to the boss about what their strategy is going to be.
Is that what happened? She said something, and that's what a couple of people on Twitter. I mean, what was the complaint?
But isn't that always the complaint? It's always just a few people on Twitter that start this shitstorm. It was like when we talked about the Disney thing. It wasn't Disney people that gave a fuck about the whole Disney DeSantis issue. It was outside people that were stirring up shit for their own agendas.
Yeah, but Disney got involved. What do you want?
Like, do you think real hardcore fans of Drew Barrymore give a shit about 8 layers of insanity or whatever, 7 layers, whatever?
7.
7 layers of insanity. What is it? Cake or no? It wasn't cake.
No, dip. Was it an insanity dip?
Insanity dip.
Fucking
it sounds delicious, actually.
7-layer dip of insanity. I'd love to get the recipe.
I don't think you'd like Amber Heard's ingredient.
Step 1, take a shit on the pillow. Step 2, go to the market.
I don't see who she insulted here. I don't see where the insult, like who's offended. What category of people, what group of people were offended?
That's people what I'm saying. She shouldn't apologize for it.
Shouldn't apologize.
Well, that's what I'm like. The complaint. What was the complaint? She made fun of what?
The fact that there was. So I think this is my guess. That people took offense that this is a serious trial about mutual abuse in a marriage, and that shouldn't be. You shouldn't make light of that.
Johnny Depp is laughing his way through it.
They're all laughing. This is the most hysterical thing I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, there were some serious
Since last season of
moments.
Curb. Let me just clarify.
There were some serious moments through the trial where Johnny Depp was describing some stuff that was messed up.
Who's watching that though?
I don't know.
I
But
mean, even
that's
even
not what's being made fun of. What's being made fun of is the fact that this is going on at all. It's not like they're making fun of, oh, look at these insane people. They're making fun of the situation itself, not the people and not the abuse. They're making fun of, like, the fact that there was a poop in a bed. That's comedy.
all right. So then, why wasn't that her fucking response rather than I'd like to apologize to all the
because it's
people who
easier.
are
Just
offended."
because it's easier to go, I'm
It's
sorry,
easier just to placate the snowflakes.
and be done with it. Just say, I'm sorry.
No, but that's the whole point. Why do you think you should say you're sorry if you're truly not sorry? I just don't get that.
Because you're in a public image. You have an image to keep going. You have sponsors. You have a show that depends with hundreds of people whose jobs depend on you. And if you're going to take this bold stance, you better be ready to back it up. With
But it
100
wasn't really
people
bold.
unemployed.
That's not a bold stance.
It's not a bold stance.
That's
No, not
mediocre
bold.
compared
No.
to anything we do here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. But if you're willing to be like, fuck those people that I offended, then you better be ready to, if they all of a sudden gather thousands of people.
They're not even doing that anymore.
Well, that's the thing. You put out the small fires so you don't have to deal with the bigger one.
But here's the thing. We went from like there being legitimate backlash, which probably was the last time we even had that was like 30 years ago, to now like people writing letters, people picketing outside of TV stations or whatever. Like that's how it was back in the day. Now it's literally 5 people on Twitter give you a problem and it's like send out the apology machine. It's insane.
Well, we didn't have that years ago because not everybody, Twitter and Facebook and all that gave literally everyone a voice. And that back 40 years ago, you didn't hear from these people because they were in another state. What are they going to do? They might write a letter, but it goes into a inbox and you never hear from it again. This is out there in the public eye. It's a different world now. You have,
but she's a TV commenter, right? Like her whole show is to comment.
I agree.
On what's happening. This is like somebody going like, "Oh, you guys should apologize for making jokes about what happened in the news." It's like, well, that's what we do. That's what happens.
Yeah,
talk about the news, then we make fun of it a little bit.
With you. I don't think she said anything offensive. Didn't seem like that to me. I'm not the one who was offended. I would like the person who was offended to say what exactly offended them. Did they say? Do we know what that was? Did we hear this part of her joke offended me? Do we know what it was?
I don't. Let me see if any of it. No.
All right. Well, if it's a legitimate, listen,
right.
I had this kind of trauma. Then maybe she goes out to that person and says, "I'm sorry for your trauma." But maybe it's a specific apology instead of a broad. I offended everyone. Maybe it's Jill from Scranton. I'm sorry you were offended. Maybe you send them a personal little. I'm sorry. I didn't. Obviously, I can't. I'm making jokes and I can't. Cater to everybody's. Everybody goes through something different. So blah blah blah. And give me a minute because I think my mic's about to die. I'm just gonna change the battery.
All right, go ahead. I think here's what I think. And Janine, I'd love to get your opinion on this while Frank can talk. Because I would have told these people to go fuck themselves. But you know what? I'm going to view this as an opportunity. Here's what we're going to do. From here on out, if we ever get into a situation where we have to apologize, Frank will be the official apologizer of the show.
Okay.
How does that sound? He'll be the one to go in and say his sorries. And then we could be like, great.
You can stuff your sorries in a sack, mister.
Whenever we do something wrong, we'll just send Frank out to apologize for it. And he'll have to do the heartfeldt.
I'm not apologizing for anything you say.
He's already got the glasses. Well, Frank, can we get a couple of books behind you? Because there's always got to be in front of a fucking bookshelf. Like it's 2 years ago when we're in the middle of the pandemic.
You want to build a bookshelf? That's a huge library.
That is a huge library. I don't think she's read one of those books, and I am not going to apologize for that comment.
You say you offended me as a book reader.
I'm standing behind that, despite the fact that those glasses are far too wide in the nose, in the nostril area. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm saying no to this. And Frank's become the official apologizer of the show.
That's incorrect. I am not the official apologizer.
You should be the left wing. When you go to the left wing meetings, you can be like, good news, everybody. I'm the official apologizer of the podcast.
Yeah, except I refuse to apologize for what you say. I'll apologize for things I say.
But I'm not going to apologize.
I'll apologize for whatever noise Janine's making. But other than
I don't
that,
even think Janine has ever apologized in her fucking life. And that I got from her husband.
That's actually not true.
That came straight from your husband. He texted me. My wife never apologizes for anything.
I do apologize. And yeah, I've apologized when I didn't mean it, just to get over a fight. This is what a lot of people do. But most of the time, if I apologize, I actually mean it. I don't want you apologizing to me if you don't mean it. If you're just going to say it just to shut me up, then don't do it. I truly feel that way.
I'm sorry, Jeannie.
No, I've done that too. I think we've all done the insincere apology when we have to just move on.
I think that's what this is.
But do you say it like this? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you say I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sure.
You do the passive aggressive sorry, where you say I'm sorry if you found what I said offensive, and if your feelings were hurt, well, I'm sorry for that. But in the future, I hope you don't get offended by things I say. I'm sorry about that.
All right. Paul says that J Sabs is really good at faking it. Also, something that your husband has mentioned to me. I'm just saying, we're talking a lot more.
Definitely.
Yeah. We're talking a lot more, him and I, these days, and he is mentioning some of these things to me. So I just want to make you aware of that. Yeah. All right. There's Drew Barrymore's apology. Last part of the Amber Heard thing. She will testify on Wednesday.
Can't wait.
So we will have plenty to talk about on the next episode when Miss Heard takes the stand, because I can't imagine how great this is going to fucking be.
I can't, what could she say?
Yeah, I don't know, but I bet you that Joy Behar is going to be apologizing for her reaction to it afterwards. That's what I can guarantee.
She'll never. That's one who will never apologize.
So do you respect her more for that, Jay Sabs, or do you still hate her?
I'll be honest. I respect her. I do. I respect someone more for not. Wait a minute. Question though. Back to this. Eric Adams, when he called the cops, what did he call them? What he said? Crackers.
He called the white cop. He said he beat the white cops, the crackers. Yeah.
He never apologized for that, right?
I don't. If he did, I missed it.
Right. You know why? Because he didn't feel like he offended anyone, so he was like, "Fuck it." All right, fine.
And he's still mayor. Last I checked, right? He's still the mayor. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to get fired as mayor.
Well, then I'll tell you what, he pulled the old, who should take more responsibility for themselves as black people line, which on occasion a black person will say, and they get a lot of flack for that. And he survived that too.
Right.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, he did. That's because they didn't talk about it on.
Well, you stop it.
CNN.
NBC. So.
I don't watch cable news anymore. I don't. It's been since before the pandemic.
Yeah, I forget what iteration, so don't at me, and I'm not apologizing for it. But that was the basic gist of take care of your own shit as a community. We should be doing that. And then all the black people got super, super offended. And maybe even Black Lives Matter, I think, had a little spat with him over that.
And they called him a white man. Something to that effect.
Interesting.
And I was like, wait, what? But then they never said anything else about it. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's weird. Robin in the chat says Will Smith apologized to everyone but Chris Rock. Incorrect. He actually did apologize to Chris Rock.
Well, after the fact, at the show.
Well, after. No, right. In his acceptance speech, he apologized, but not to Chris Rock. But then after the fact, 2-3 days later, I think on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the hell.
See, now slapping the shit out of somebody, that's a good reason to apologize. There's a reason
Jada said he could.
Yeah, but who are you to set the bar? How do you're the guy that says, no, you have to apologize for this. No, you don't have to apologize for that. If you feel the need to, it's also not, it's two-pronged. You apologize to make the other person feel like you weren't intentionally trying to insult them, and you also do it for yourself too. So in case you're feeling like you need to, clear the air a little bit too.
Well,
You don't want
no.
that. Okay.
I'd say 95% of these celebrities don't care, and they're just being told to apologize.
Well,
It's true. It's like you have to do it because then they'll come after you or whatever, and that's it. And you know
Okay.
what? Enough is enough.
So
You don't
then
have to
why does that
apologize
bother
for
you?
every single thing, because it's like I said, it's not sincere anymore. It's like
So
you're just
then don't
doing it
listen
to
to
just
it.
shut people up.
So then the apology wasn't for you, though.
But you don't see the danger in that of like forcing people to do this all the time,
Yeah.
like especially you being in the position that you're in on this show with, I don't want to point fingers, but
What?
Hey, I'll apologize if I offend someone. I'll apologize. If someone else on the show says something, I'm not apologizing for that person. It's not up to me.
See, I think it's because in your entire radio career, you never got caught in the crosshairs of this. You never got put under fire for you never had to get called into the corner office and have to make that decision and fight that fight or go with that argument when your family's well-being is like on the line. It really makes you feel different about it.
Of course it would. So wouldn't you want to squash whatever problem there is right away?
Because the reason why is because as soon as you apologize for one of these things, it's like blood in the water, and they're going to consistently come after you.
I hate that argument.
Until
it's a slippery slope. Maybe it just ends there. Maybe you apologize and then you don't say anything insulting anymore and you move on.
A lot of the times it doesn't, though, because if you look at Pierce Morgan, if you look at
I think it's a case by case basis. You have to go case by case.
Sharon Osbourne.
I was going to say Sharon Osbourne.
Sharon Osbourne got called a racist because she stuck up for Pierce Morgan, who said he didn't like what Meghan Markle said on a fucking Oprah Winfrey interview. It was the craziest line of whatever. Then somebody thought, well, because Meghan Markle's half black and Pierce Morgan didn't believe her, that Sharon Osbourne's support of Pierce Morgan thus makes her a racist. And that's why she got fucking canned from the show.
That's ridiculous.
That's why you can't have these things. That's not so.
Did she apologize?
That really happened. She refused to apologize.
And then you get fired.
Well, no.
If she would apologize.
But that doesn't make her a racist, Frank. That doesn't make her a racist.
She doesn't. But she could have said, listen, if you were offended by this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it the way you thought I did.
No, but it has to make sense, dude. It has to be, if she said
it does.
She used a slur against somebody, okay, fine. You can apologize. You can be like, hey, that might be a little racist.
I'm not saying what she did was racist. I'm not. But there are levels. You can't, it's not just you either called someone a name or you didn't. There are levels of racism.
Yeah, but because somebody doesn't believe you and what you're saying and you support that person, doesn't make you a racist because the person that you originally had that feeling for happens to be half black.
Well, I don't know the whole Sharon Osbourne story off the top of my head. I don't know the facts of the whole thing. I don't know what she said. I don't know what he said. And I don't know who supported what. So I can't comment on that specific thing. But all I know is if you're in a situation where you said something offensive to someone, a quick apology doesn't hurt anybody.
You would never stop apologizing in today's climate.
Right.
I'm in today's climate.
Because once you open up that door, that's it.
If you had to, I can't even get to. Remember back in the day, we used to like answer everybody's comments and write something back. Like we're far past that. So I like if you were really going on that scale, you'd have nothing. You wouldn't be able to get anything else done. You'd just be spending the whole day apologizing.
I would turn that into the show.
That would be the
show. There's a show. That's a show.
Thanks to Dawn, who said our version of this crazy trial is the best, and then laid a $9.99 super sticker on us for that. So thanks, Dawn. We appreciate that. And
yes, thank you very much, Dawn.
2/3 of us will not be apologizing for anything from this episode, but if we do offend you, we got the apologizer here.
I'm sorry that this is the best version. I truly am. That this is the best version of the crazy trial.
What's that show that's on that Queen Latifah is on? What is that on CBS? The Equalizer.
Okay.
Oh,
You're going to be the apologizer, Frank. That's
oh
going to be.
God.
We're going to look up whatever font that is. They write that show in, and we're going to put that over your little part of the screen.
Like I said, Frank has never won a fight with his wife ever. How long you been with your wife? How long?
We honestly, we don't fight.
Exactly my point. Exactly my
We
point.
don't fight. There's nothing. See, all right.
What is
this
there to fight about? Even if you don't,
we don't really fight that often. If we do fight, we make up really quick. We don't let it linger. We don't really get on each other's. We don't fight that often. We've been married. What is this? We've been married almost 12 years.
Yeah, but how many of those years with a wedding ring?
I'm sorry.
6? Half?
Half. Yeah.
That doesn't even count. That's not technically a marriage.
That's kind of true. Engagement ring, though. It was the engagement ring.
Okay. Then it's good. Then it's fine.
Okay, good.
Let me ask you a question, though. Do you think your wife would be pissed off if she knew that all of your apologies were insincere just to move on?
Right.
That's incorrect.
Oh, Frank,
when I apologize,
come on.
I mean it.
I'm
sorry. I mean I'm sorry.
Do you want to share? I'm not here to pry in your life, but I would love to know.
It sounds like you are.
I would love to know what your last fight was about with your wife.
I can't even remember what it would be about.
Because 95% of the fight, because I don't fight with my wife often. We do tangle every now and then, but I would say that 95% of those fights are probably child related.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know.
We don't have children.
I wouldn't even know what you fought. Like prior to that, the most we ever fought about was, okay, here's another problem in my marriage. My wife finishes all of my leftovers. That is a huge issue in our relationship. So
See, I thought you were going to say she finishes before me. And I was like, well, okay.
Right.
No, that's never happened, but I'll let you know.
That's never happened. Right.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I don't let that stuff bother me. If she finished my leftovers.
What if the
he's
woman
kidding.
really
He's
care?
kidding.
No, he's not. You think he's kidding. He is not kidding.
Well, what
That
do
is
they
a
say?
huge issue.
10% of every joke is based in reality.
I guarantee that was a real fight. Guaranteed.
No, it's never been. I mean, I hate her.
never-
That's one of the reasons why I don't like her. But we don't fight about it.
You've never, in a serious voice, said, "Did you eat my whatever I left in the fridge?"
Oh, all the time, because she's sneaky like a rat. Like she gets in there at odd time. First of all, and then she loves to eat leftovers in the morning.
Well, there you go.
So like the following afternoon or whatever, I'll be like, oh, that leftover from last night will be good for lunch. Then I'll go in there and it'll already be fucking gone.
And did you ever bring it up to it? Did you ever get it to
all the time?
an
Because you know
argument?
why? Before people go and at me, she doesn't like. Let's say, for instance, for argument's sakes, we're talking about wings. Let's say I put some leftover wings in the refrigerator, right? A normal human being would eat those and throw them away and try and discard it, correct? She will eat all the wings and leave the bones in the refrigerator there for me to see. Like
Taunting you.
Like a fish in a fucking bulletproof vest. She just fucking sends that message.
What is
Luca
the point of
Brasi
that?
Swims with the fish. What?
What is the point? All right, I'd love to know her reasoning behind that.
Because you don't just kill Luca Brasi, you put a fucking fish in his jacket and you send it back to the rest of the Corleone family. That's what she does. My wife's hardcore. She don't fuck around.
So
she's sending a message, Frank. She's basically saying it's
What is
not
the
just
message?
this. This is how your life is going to be for the rest of your life. Get
so
used
it's
to it.
it's a power play.
It's a power move.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's you guys. You guys are fucked up.
I question whether or not you're even married, because this is that's marriage 101. You got to fucking
No, that's you 101.
set your parameters.
I put leftovers in the fridge and she eats them. I don't care. It's not a huge deal. I don't let the little things like that bother me. I really don't. That's why we don't really fight.
I got to know what your last fight was about. I think this is something
I think
we should all
we
confess.
fought that I was too good in bed one night. And
Goodbye. You
She's like,
lasted so long.
she was so mad. She's like, "How could you be this amazing?" And I was like, "I don't know what to tell you. Stop yelling at me for it." That was our last fight.
That's funny. I'm trying to think of what my last fight was. Seriously, I'm wondering what it was.
No, I can't even remember mine. I don't know.
J Sams?
Probably because I get frustrated. This is gonna be very serious right now. Probably because I get very frustrated with the kids, and
A lot of it has to do with kids.
I get tired of them.
Yeah, a lot of it is kids.
We don't have
But I
kids.
wouldn't really consider that like a fight. I did bring up last week about him looking at that girl's ass in high school and lying about
You gotta
it.
let that go.
But he deserved it. Was he breathing at the time? What a prick.
That was
Right.
a piece of
Deserved
shit.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta let that one go for his.
He just got mad because he woke up at like 2:30 in the morning and I just had like a scissor at his throat saying, "Can you just tell me the truth? I'm giving you one last chance to tell me if you looked at her ass or not."
I hope you're kidding, but I can't tell.
Yeah.
I know you really can't tell, Frank. You
I
really
can't.
can't.
I can't.
It might be some kind of kinky game we play. You never know.
When you said scissors, I thought some.
Ew.
Speaking of kinky game, I before you came on, J Subs, that was my analysis. Is that this is like a left wing woke kind of like S&M thing now, like to apologize, to get somebody to apologize. Like it's all like I think the people on Twitter that forced her to apologize are getting off on that fact that she did it, and I think some of these,
there's definitely people.
right? Like some of these celebs are kind of like, "Oh, I had to apologize. I was so naughty." Like it's become I think there's some weird, deep sexual suppression things going on with this fucking woke culture apology shit.
So, do you think that the people who made the celebrity apologize, whatever the situation was, you think they're like, oh, look, they watched that video, go, "Oh, this is to me." This is.
I think they're jerking off to that video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Right, I'm serious. Like I think they like whatever they're doing, whacking it, flicking the bean, whatever side of that little thing they're on. I think that's what they're doing when they have a little fucking victory like this.
Anthony, you really know how to gross me out. I don't know what it is.
And then
you paint quite the picture.
Because it doesn't end there. I bet you they after they have their little guilt orgasm, then they fucking go back on Twitter and they're looking for old shit in her past to see if they can get her to do it again.
Oh yeah.
Because that's always the game. Because there's always then 4 days later something from fucking
Something
1987. Else. Yeah, some tweet from 1987, and they got
a tweet.
So then
Let's see what else we can dig up.
So then you don't apologize. So then don't apologize. It's up to you. You're not forced.
Well, that's what I mean. Here's the thing, and here's what a lot of woke people have an issue with. That's become Trump's playbook, and then now people hate it. By the way, before Trump did it, that was the way to handle it. But now then Trump started making that a popular thing, and now everybody hates people who just don't apologize. But the people who don't
that's
apologize,
why Frank is so against it. Makes
not
sense
at all.
Now. Makes
It's
sense.
nothing to do with Trump. You might be surprised by this, but not everything has to do with Trump.
No.
that is
Some
surprising.
things do.
No.
All right, I
not
love
everything.
Ricardo who writes in, "I love Amber Heard and I'm unapologetic about it."
I love it.
Wow.
There you go. There's an Amber Heard fan. I respect Ricardo big time.
Okay.
I mean, I'd love to know why. I'm a little flustered on why, but if that's the thing, then that's the thing for you. Good for you.
All right. That's
You know what
your
he's
bag.
into. You know what he's into.
Into a little bit of the kinky stuff, I think.
Duty play.
Could be.
Duty play, getting shit on the pillow.
Putting a cigarette out on you, that kind of thing.
Mm.
That was part of it, wasn't it?
That is a special kind of fetish. That's a lot of cleanup. That is a lot of cleanup.
You got to lay down some tarp.
I you know what? There was a TikTok the other day that had me hysterical laughing. It's this woman, and she was like, she made some inference of like putting a towel on the bed because just to kind of protect it, so because it's going down. And then the next shot is her and her husband eating McDonald's in the bed.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I saw that one.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, so Ricardo said it's called compassion. Compassion for Amber Heard?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Did anything bad really happen to her, though? I mean, I don't really know. Is there?
Well, we'll hear her testimony, but
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I thought I saw something where somebody flashed a photo where she had a bruised a bruise on her face.
But what I heard about that was it was like gone the very next day, and it was like they said it was like a makeup thing.
Exactly right, and that was my point, which was like, it doesn't necessarily mean that was from him, and I wouldn't say that normally, but judging by everything else she's fucking lied about.
I'm only repeating what I heard, that it was a makeup thing. I could be wrong, maybe it wasn't, but again, how do we know? We don't know.
I don't know, but Paul's back with some sound advice. When Amber orders tacos, hide your pillows. That's just that's solid advice for
Or
everybody's
wings.
future.
That's just good planning right there.
It is solid planning. Yeah, it's very, very solid planning. All right, it doesn't often take us 50 minutes to get to the first topic, but that's
Oh
rough.
God, yeah. I'm not going to be here much longer. Especially since I just got a text from my husband and I'm in trouble right now.
What
Oh, boy.
happened?
What happened?
Do you know what this is about? Did
I'm
you
sorry.
finish as low mean?
In the midst of trying to get ready to do the show, do laundry, clean up the kids' shit all over, I accidentally left the fridge wide open.
And what did he say?
You guys think he's so nice.
Oh shit! I'm laughing because I know what it's like to be on both sides of this issue. I know what it's like to be mad that the refrigerator was open, and then I also know what it's like to be so overwhelmed with bullshit from the kids that you do something entirely stupid.
When you asked when our last fight was? Well, it's gonna be now.
5 minutes from now.
It's going to be the next segment of this show.
You left the refrigerator open. ... Don't put the ...
Oh shit! He 3-dotted your
That
ass.
is a passive aggressive ...
It is. Everything is warm. So I wrote, oops, yeah, okay. He writes, why can't you close or shut anything with 4 question marks?
Ooh.
4.
Oh,
Yikes. Anything. Why can't you close anything?
This is definitely going to be, there's going to be a throwdown tonight. Okay.
Oh boy.
And I'm not saying sorry. I'm not saying sorry for leaving that open.
you shouldn't. I just
Frank
remember.
Wood. Go ahead.
I just remember the last thing I fought with my wife about. It wasn't really
tell
a
me.
big fight though. She did not replace the toilet paper. She spent the toilet paper, and then that was it. I come in, no toilet paper.
Fight?
It wasn't a fight. It was like, hey, why don't you?
That's not a fight. Hey, can you replace the toilet? That's not a fight.
It's not. Well, I said,
Talking
why don't
about
why,
yelling or harsh words.
Well, I said, why can't you ever replace the toilet paper? And she was like, I'm pretty sure in 12 years, this was the first time I forgot. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but she's definitely right. But that's not the point. The point is make it sound like it's the most horrible thing in the world, which is the route that I chose.
Well, I wrote, I know I'm such a terrible person.
Yeah, okay. My wife does that to me too.
Oh boy.
I don't know whose side to take here. I'm very torn.
I don't know, man. That's rough. Good luck with that fight.
We'll see.
Hope he survives.
All right, Jumpstart Coffee Company. Would if we sent you an extra bag of Jumpstart, Janine, you think that would help
smooth things over?
Smooth things out, yeah.
Well, maybe I would be more awake, so I could,
Oh, you're gonna awake him.
Focus on closing the refrigerator door.
Go like this is what you should do. Be like, maybe if I had an orgasm in the last 4 months, I'd be able to fucking think clearly and close the door.
Ooh.
With somebody else in the room.
Oh boy.
All right,
rough.
thank you. I'm definitely gonna write that. Hold on 1 minute. Anthony says to say.
All right, we got to get through this week because we have things that we got to do with Janine.
I don't think we'll get into any of these topics today.
No.
Jumpstart Coffee, save 15% when you use the promo code AOA15 when you order with the link in the description. It's important that you do that because you're supporting this podcast by buying a bag that Frank's holding up right there. You're going to be supporting the Navy SEAL Foundation because 50% of what they make, they give to the Navy SEAL Foundation.
Now that's nice.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's Canadian nice. That's something a Canadian would do, okay?
And they are not apologizing for it.
Not apologizing whatsoever. They have 4 amazing blends. They have decaf. They have the light, dark, the espresso blend. They got so many. They have the subscribe and save where you could order as many bags as you need for the month and they'll keep bringing it back to you every single month, just like what Amazon does with your paper towels and your toilet paper and all that stuff. People set up all that stuff. Now you can do it with coffee and have delicious coffee whenever you want right there in your home. Jumpstart is a proud supporter of the podcast, and we want to support them. So grab a bag today, order with the link in the description, or click on the homepage of AnthonyOnAir.com.
Boom. Willie Thompson, thank you for the $2.
Thank you.
Very nice of you, Willie, for the super chat there. We were talking about that the other day, the CNN Plus major debacle.
Yeah, that was a big old mistake right there.
When was the last time we had a big TV mess up like that? It would have to be Conan and Leno, right?
That was a huge F up, but a different kind of F up. That wasn't a failed launch of a network or anything.
Yeah, it was fucking with the best franchise in late night television, though. That wasn't all that great.
Yeah, no, that was a big screw up. Agreed.
Yeah. It's amazing that Conan's not still good. I mean, Conan, literally the guy is podcasting instead of doing a late night show. That's basically what's happened, which is just
he could have kept going the rest of his life.
Yeah, but NBC, I feel like, would have made more money long term with Conan. Anyway, let's not rehash that.
Yeah.
Because Leno was out in like 2 years or whatever it was. Anyway, Naomi Judd, this is very sad. Let's move through this. Naomi Judd, cause of death. We found out that she passed away. Then just before the show started, the cause of death was revealed. Turns out that it was a suicide. Her kids and
I didn't know that. I remember the initial announcement said a mental issue, but I thought maybe Alzheimer's or something, but it was a suicide.
Years and years of struggle with mental illness. Today, multiple sources told people that the 76-year-old had taken her own life. No further details were provided. Man.
You know what? It's crazy. I always find, sorry, I cut you off. I always find it crazy for people who commit suicide when they're older. For me, it's just a strange thing. Like,
me too.
I'm just like, but you're like, older. So it's like, to me, it's like, you're not supposed to do that for some reason. Like, or it just seems more unnatural. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know why.
No, we talked about this. I think I brought this up with the great divorce. When people getting divorced, that they're like 75 and they're getting divorced.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You made it this far. Like, what else? What more could you be expecting? Like, after 30, 40 years of marriage, like, it seems nuts.
Yeah, you can't, people have their own stuff going on in obviously in their marriages, but also in their heads. You can't, there's no way, the person could feel the same at she was 75?
76.
76. A person could feel the same at 76 as they did at 20. It doesn't matter how old you are. Mental illness, it hits.
But that's
anybody.
sad that nothing changed in how long. Because she did for a long time say she struggled with it. So
struggled with it and like not lectured about it. Like went and gave talks about it to kind of like try and help other people work their way through it. It just goes to show. I guess it's like sobriety. Like you never really quite. You're never done with
right.
It.
It's always got this small place in your mind, I guess. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Anybody, no matter what age, 90 or a teenager or whatever.
Yeah,
that's always sad.
It sucks because I'm staring down the barrel of 40, and that's fucking depressing. I can't imagine piling on 36 more years of this shit. Like it feels like an unbearable thing when you get to it. But actually, it's funny. I know somebody who did have a little bit of a, what do they call that? Like a suicidal gesture at a pretty up their age, and it's sad. Fucking sad. Like when you think about it, it's kind of depressing, especially when you know the person from childhood.
Yeah,
that is really sad.
It really is. So. Obviously, condolences out to the whole Judd family. They're all super talented, and that's a tough thing to lose mom over something like that. Yeah. Suicide prevention hotline. I always give this out when there's some sad suicides, which is every suicide. 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Elon Musk taking on MSNBC. He fucking went off on them.
How? What happened?
All right, so here, I don't know the name of the guy. Let me get it up for everybody so that we have it. His name is Mehdir Hassan, Mehdir. Is that his name?
Sounds right.
he went on this whole tirade and then put it on Twitter, which is basically Elon's house now. So Elon had to respond. But again, somebody else on the left, which is I can't. I'm genuinely surprised at how I shouldn't be. But I am surprised at how much they hate him buying Twitter. Here's his minute-long comment.
It's easy in American discourse to talk simplistically about the far left and the far right as two equally dangerous fringe blocks. Elon Musk has done it plenty of times just in the past week. But here's the difference. America's far left wants to give us free healthcare and free childcare. America's far right wants to give us white supremacy and no democracy. And this asymmetrical polarization of US politics would be laughable if it weren't so horrifying. We are living through an unspeakably dangerous moment. The pro-QAnon, pro-neo-Nazi faction of the Republican Party is poised to expand dramatically come the midterms. We're just 2 years away from Donald Trump very possibly re-seizing executive power. If that happens, we may look back on this past week as a pivotal moment when a petulant and not so bright billionaire casually bought one of the world's most influential messaging machines and just handed it to the far right. I'm joined now by Molly Jong Fast.
So that's what he said.
Wow.
So Elon's response to this was NBC basically saying Republicans are Nazis. And then he said, this is the same organization.
That's not what he said, but okay.
This is he
said the far right. He didn't say Republicans are Nazis.
Okay.
He said, because if you look at the Nazi
I can see the point. You're right.
Okay, so the far right.
He said same organization that covered up Hunter Biden laptop story, had Harvey Weinstein story early and killed it, and built Matt Lauer's rape office. Lovely people.
I can't defend any of that.
None of those things are incorrect.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I think we're in the era of, again, I get criticizing the media because they certainly deserve it, but there's still great journalists out there. So you got to be aware of that. It's just that the bad ones are like this guy who don't understand that we live in an age now where it is don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house kind of a time, you know?
Right.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. I think the guy,
especially at a time where the guy bought fucking Twitter. Like he bought Twitter. And I have a real problem with this again. Sorry to cut you off, Frank. But going back to, they're acting like one set of billionaire people who hold this much power deciding what can be said or not is better than another based off of their own political ideology. He's acting like it's the end of the world for Elon to have it, but because Jack Dorsey thought more like them, it was okay. When anybody with any sort of logic or love of America will tell you, one's not better than the other. You know what I'm saying? It's just that this one is talking a little bit more, sounding a little bit more like the Constitution, where it's like you have the right to talk and say whatever you want.
Right.
I guess.
And they act like him taking this over means that Nazis will be marching in the street again. And did you hear the way he said Trump's going to come back to power? He didn't say Trump's going to win an election. He said Trump is going to seize power back.
Well, that's
a little bit much.
The guy is obviously he was obviously being a little dramatic. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But no, it's hard to defend like the whole thing. It's like he said a lot in that minute clip or whatever. But him taking over Twitter it depends. We haven't seen any big changes yet. It depends on what the changes are. I mean, there's changes that'll help and changes that'll hurt. We'll see what he does. But I think they're just erring on the side of this guy wants to make it, I don't know, a certain way that they don't like. And, that's what they're just voicing their opinion, I guess. It's an opinion show.
You just said the greatest thing, which is what everybody should be saying, which is, let's see how he does. Not the end of the world is coming because fucking Elon bought Twitter.
Yeah, we don't know what he's going to do. He hasn't said what he's going to do.
It could be shit. It also could be great.
Right.
He could sit back and do nothing. But who knows?
He
I
could.
don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
We will see.
Let me see here. Let's do Putin's transferring power to his, I guess, the top police officer in Russia, because this is a report, by the way. This hasn't been confirmed, because it's kind of hard, because if it's really true, I don't think he would be saying it. But according to a new report, he's got to undergo cancer surgery, Putin. And he's going to transfer power over to Nikolai Patrushev.
Temporarily.
Yeah,
during this. Okay. Well, he's temporarily transferring power. That's what any leader does that if they're going into surgery.
Dictators, though? Because it's the president of the United States, yes. But
I don't know about I don't know how the dictator playbook is different I'm sure for every dictator. But they do what the hell they want. But yeah, in a normal world, when the head guy or girl is under the knife and unconscious in some way, you have to transfer the power.
All right, so that's that. I say they fucking kill this guy while he's on the table. That's the move right there.
I mean,
You gotta be,
honestly.
That's why I'm surprised he's doing this, because you got to be thinking, if he's so fucking paranoid, which, by the way, if he has cancer, that would explain why he's been so, like, oh, first of all, looking like shit, and second of all, so afraid of COVID, because if he's got an illness already.
And also
by the way,
nothing to lose attitude.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've ever been excited about somebody havhaving cancer. I mean, we can finally be like, fuck that guy, cancer.
Are we rooting for cancer in this one?
I'm rooting for cancer here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that one exception where it's like, yeah, go cancer. For once, out of all the shitty things that cancer has done.
Yeah, cancer blows. But in this case.
In this one particular instance, not bad.
I have a, leg up here.
So then what? So then it's the same thing with the Elon Musk argument.
What's the same thing with the Elon Musk argument?
Unless it works in your favor. If Twitter is working in in favor, like it.
We're talking about that's Twitter versus people being killed on a daily basis. It's two different.
No. I'm talking about cancer versus you hate cancer, but then it does something good for you, or you hate or you like Twitter, and then it does something bad. You don't like it anymore.
Listen, first of all,
I wasn't talking about the war.
I know you're wrong, but I don't want to go into it because we got a guy who's got a dick on his arm that we have to talk about before we
priorities. We have to talk about that.
Yeah, well, let's keep it all together. Pete Davidson, wiener arm guy, and Altov's screw up with Kate Spade.
All right,
J Sabs, which one would you like to tackle first?
Pete Davidson.
Okay, Pete Davidson. I'm glad you chose this one. Turns out, on top of branding Kim into his fucking chest, he also got Kim's 4 kids tattooed on him.
That is weird.
I'm sorry, but I know, yes, he has so many tattoos. So honestly, he might be like, whatever. But what's another 4 tattoos? It's weird.
It's weird. I mean, they're not your kids unless you adopt them. And even then, you can't adopt them because they have. I don't think you can, right?
No, you can adopt them. Oh wait, he can't adopt them?
I don't think.
No, because
they have parents.
She has. Kanye has to give up. I guess parental rights.
Can children have more than 2 parents?
I don't think so, because there's not enough spaces on forms.
Well, there you go.
That's sound logic. No,
thank you. Genius over here. I mean, I don't think so.
But I think the absurdity here lies in the timeline. Like, if this was 10 years down the road, this would be all sweet.
They're together, 6 months?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking crazy ass behavior.
What, dude?
It's weird, man. That's a weird move. I'm sure she approved it or liked it or whatever the hell she, but
could you imagine if she didn't? Could you imagine if he just came home one day and was like, "Look what I did, sweetheart," and pulled his fucking collar aside, and she sees it? She's got to be thinking, "Oh, I did it again. I fucking hooked up with a nut job that I thought I could change."
Yeah, this is a weird move, dude. I don't I don't see this being a good. I mean, he's only how long again? 6 months.
About.
Does he know these kids that well?
Right.
They're not his kids.
You know, I was thinking last week while I was watching the show, which I never really watched the original show, but now I'm hooked on the Hulu one. Why? I don't know.
You got hooked on the Hulu one.
I don't know why.
You become a drug addict at the age of like 67. You're like,
here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
It must be so awkward when he hangs out with them because he's like so totally not what they are. You know what I mean? He's a kid who lived with his mother in Staten Island in her basement. Comic. Like, he, you know, it's just.
He loves
marijuana. He loves
marinara. Doesn't marinara.
Marinara is good, though.
That is good. He can't fault him.
You know, he's a pothead. It's just totally different.
Potheads need love, too.
No, I know.
No, but you know what?
I'm not knocking him. It's just weird.
You bring up a good point. He's the polar opposite of this Hollywood, Rodeo Drive elite. Always had money, always proper, always worrying about their public perception.
Right.
I don't think
gray matter. Like,
he does look gray and weird.
He has not been on the show just yet. He's either going to be on the next one or the one after that. It's just. I love to see how he interacts with all of them. It's just I don't know. It's weird, and I'm sorry, it's weird to get the kids.
Yeah, that's a weird move. And it's like right here too on his neck.
It's high up, yeah.
What?
And don't you think
tattoos are up here? Yeah.
Like if you were him, I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't care because he's banging Kim Kardashian, but don't you feel like this is like a pattern of hers and like. If they didn't have a new show coming out on Hulu, this is what I would be thinking about Pete Davidson. If there wasn't a new Hulu show to promote, would I be in this relationship? Would she be dating anybody publicly if we weren't packaging a new show to the world?
Well, the thing is, the reason why she's supposedly with him is to get, and I've said this on the show before, to get whatever happened at Travis Scott concert off of that, like that whole thing that happened, because you have not heard anything about that in a long time, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, what does she have to do with Travis Scott?
It's just to get
the focus off of that part of their family.
Just to get the focus off that part of the Kardashian.
Wait, he's in that family?
Isn't he dating or married to or dating one of the other sisters?
Kylie.
I don't know which one. Kylie
Jenner.
Got it.
So that's why.
I could see that.
But I mean,
or it's true love.
It could be.
Or it's true love.
She could like him for his water bottles.
It could be that. But but here's the thing, like just like all her other like marriages, at a certain point when it gets a little tough or when the luster has faded or you don't have a show to promote anymore or you're not there to pump the ratings, she gets out of it.
And that might be. So that's why the tattoo's a little weird.
Like
then he'll just cover it up.
But then I think about like, remember in the beginning when they were like, is he going to be on the show? And he clearly said to her, no.
Yeah.
And she said, well, not directly, but you're going to see. So she kind of, without even needing him, put him on the show.
Right.
And that was part of the press in the beginning of this whole fucking thing with Hulu.
Yeah. I mean, I think they still have a show without him. So,
but you know what? Jean's right. Because then they're talking about is that fucking concert and what happened there.
That or Kanye. I feel like Kanye is the focus.
True.
They probably want to take she probably wants to.
He was already on it. He was on this week's episode.
Agreed.
Was he?
But since he's all whacked out.
This was pre-split, like before they announced the divorce. That this is where the show is. Oh no,
nope.
He was just on the show, like dropping off the kids or picking them up, or.
So,
wait, let me ask you this question:
Go
like
ahead.
a normal couple, like back in the day, they used to meet at McDonald's and hand the kids off. Do they meet at like Nobu? How does it work for them?
They haven't really showed that.
Okay.
He honestly, he was there because supposedly another part of the sex tape that she made with Ray J was leaked. And she was very upset because she was like, I didn't know there was another part. And she told Kanye, I guess. I don't know. They didn't show that part, I don't think, because I didn't see it. And she was nervous because she was going to be on SNL, and she didn't want that to overshadow her being on SNL. Apparently, Kanye contacted Ray J and was like, I need the tape. You have to give it to me. He got the tape. He was in New York, and he said he had the tape. So he flew to LA, got the tape, and then flew back to New York to give it to her.
Kanye did that.
Yep. He showed up with
Wow.
a computer, a monitor, and he was like, yeah, I got it for you. Like all like he's definitely a character. Woo.
Wow.
So that's why.
So, I mean, but it's already leaked.
Yeah, no, there was another part. And because she said, I really don't want my kids to see this.
Mm-hmm. You know what that was? Backdoor action.
Oh boy. I think you don't want the kids to see any part of a sex tape.
Yeah, but any kid is going to look at that and go, oh, at least my mom doesn't take it in the ass. And then, oh, wait a second. There's bonus footage.
Right.
You're not going to survive that bonus footage.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not
right.
At all.
Not at all. But
all right, you and I said the same thing, but very differently. Go ahead.
I just think it's like, to me, tattoos are very special and should have a meaning. That's just me. And I feel like a lot of people who do have tattoos feel the same way. So like, it's just, but because he has so many, does he?
They just don't mean as much anymore.
And also, is it messed up that I only have one of my daughters tattooed on my body and not the other two?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. It's
okay.
Yeah,
I thought so too. Okay.
That's not going to come back to haunt you years later in therapy sessions.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have it for a special reason, but
I think they'll understand.
I don't think they will.
No,
I think
no,
they're gonna be like,
plan-
where's my ink, Mom?
Right. I plan to get one.
You got 2 more to go here.
I know.
Get it all done in one shot.
You plan on adding the other kids to the mix?
Yes. Actually, I already know like 3 tattoos that I definitely want.
Well, that would mean that you want to keep your kids forever. That's a big commitment. Are you sure you're ready to make that commitment?
No.
There you go.
I said that to my wife. I said to my wife that my first tattoo is going to be the kids and the family. Like, that's what I want it to be. And then one day the kids are being so shitty, and I go, I take back the whole tattoo thing. I'm going to wait until they're 18. Let's see how the next 10 years go before I commit to something like that.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. I'm sorry. It's very.
Yeah, it's strange to know that they're not your kids, and you've known them for 6 months.
Mm.
But like I said, he could just. I feel like people with a lot of tattoos, as many as he has, get them for a certain reason. So it's just like, oh, just ink me? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
These people are weird.
I mean, he's probably gonna, at the end of the day, he's probably gonna have 1 million tattoos. Gonna be covered up, but it's still. I feel like tattoos are a personal thing. Everyone that you get put, having never gotten a tattoo,
pussy.
No,
not you.
Who?
You and Anthony. Not only you. I meant to say. Go ahead.
Frank's the bigger pussy, though. Could we all agree on that?
Why?
Just because it's not me.
Oh, all right. That's fine. I don't care.
Do you
but I
plan
just
on
think
getting a tattoo, though?
Me, no.
No, okay. See, at least I plan. That's why you're the bigger pussy, because at least I talk about it.
No, it's nothing. I don't want anything. I can't think of anything that I want to put on there. And where would it go?
Your wife's name?
Well, yeah, I could do that, but where would I put it? How does it look? Where do I,
on your ass, like a real man.
How about something original, like a big Jesus head?
That is my
Don't
brother's.
That's embarrassing. Oh,
I know. That's why I said that.
Mm.
It looks good. He got a good one.
Does it?
It does look good.
It looks like Jesus is melting in his tattoo. If I could be totally honest with you. That crown of thorns bleeding thing just looks like on a hot day. It looks like Jesus is melted. Like Jesus' popsicle is melting on his leg.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's not cool.
He should make the tattoo artist apologize. I feel bad for the fucking kids though. Think about how fucked up they are. Mom's like a media attention whore. Dad's nuts, and new dad is even nutser.
Yeah,
Well,
new dad is like, oh
Yeah.
God.
But you know what it is? It's not. They've grown up in it. I'm not saying it's better, but it's not
Well,
like
you say
all
they're
of a
not going to know what normal parents are. I guess you're right.
Probably true.
Yeah, this is the life. This is the life they're in, and this is how they're being raised. And it's not like their life. I'm sure their lives don't suck. I'm sure they're doing okay, and I'm sure like Kim's around a lot, right? From what I hear, she's a very involved parent, right?
Kim?
She's not like Jay Sabs. Would you know? Is she like an involved parent, or is it like let the nanny raise them?
Supposedly she is.
Okay, so that's good.
Well, did they let the kids on this show? Because they didn't let the kids on the old show at all. Also,
yes.
I think he doesn't want them on right. Didn't he say keep her off Instagram? The kid.
He didn't want her on TikTok, which I don't get. Why not?
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, they're on this one. They are.
Okay.
Gotta get the ratings up.
They're gonna grow up in the environment. It's not like they're gonna be thrown into it.
They don't know anything different.
Yeah.
Paul's like, "Are you wearing Skims?" No, not yet, Paul. That's Khloe Kardashian's Kim Kardashian's line of like
what?
Like underwear and like stuff like that.
What's the original? She's the Hydrox of that though. What was the original?
Spanx.
Spanx.
Yeah.
Didn't she just rip off Spanx?
Well, there was like back and forth with that. I don't know if she got sued for that. Something.
Oh, but it's a different stitching. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the song goes dun 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 dun. dun.
All right, let's talk about Wiener Guy. I'm pretty sure we talked about Wiener Guy a while ago.
So, J-Saps, is Wiener on the arm a deal breaker?
Good question.
Or a deal maker?
That's a good question. I don't know.
See, here's my question. My question is it a functioning thing?
I've never been in this predicament.
Hey-oo.
Man, I'm funny.
That's a t-shirt. Man, comma, I'm funny.
Look at me laughing so hard at myself.
I'm sure it wasn't functioning in any way. Like it didn't.
We did talk about this on the show, though.
I don't remember.
We did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did, but I don't think we got into a lot of detail. I know it was put on so it could be. What it was so eventually it would be attached to him, right?
Yeah,
in the proper place.
So he had a peen, and then it fell off because of some blood.
Just fell off.
It just fell off, and then, which is amazing too, because if yours was kind of being cut off from blood, I think you would notice at some point, but I guess not.
Maybe he's into that.
It just fell off.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. And then they were like, "All right, well, we can kind of build you a new one on the old arm there," which is what they did.
Does that mean it's free? I'll give you a new one on the arm. I kind of misunderstood what you were telling me, but this works too. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Supposedly, though, he got to like design it. Like he got to like choose, like pick out his like.
I hope it better not have been the company that I interviewed.
That would be
almost
hysterical.
Interviewed with, because I would be really mad.
But this is a real one. This is not a prosthetic, right? This is a real.
Well, they made it
like real
out
flesh.
of his own skin.
Yeah, they made it. Yes.
Ugh, another word I don't like. Flesh. Ugh.
Flesh.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I'm with you on this because flesh only comes up when somebody's eating it. Either it's like a cannibal or it's like a flesh-eating disease.
Flesh and blood. You're my flesh and blood. It's a familial thing. Your kid is your own flesh and blood.
All right, that's one time. It's not about eating. Although
Yeah.
children are usually eating your soul, so my argument kind of holds up.
Yeah, I see that. So all right, so this thing, I mean, I feel like doesn't it have to already be built? It's how is it gonna? It grows on his arm. How did it grow? Like what? How long did it have to be on his arm, and what was going on while it was on his arm?
Can you please read the paragraph that I sent you before? That is the funniest thing in the article. You don't even need to read anything else about the article. Just read that paragraph.
That was the funniest part. That was legit the funniest part. Let me get it and read it word for word because it did.
Because all right, I get that it's on his arm, but what are they waiting for it to be attached in the right place? I mean, how long was it on there, and what had to happen in that period of time for it to be ready to be put on his, like, what was?
Well, he has to go through arm puberty. That's basically.
Okay, got it.
In the article which I put out in the live chat so people can see pictures of this is all about this new documentary all about him. And in this documentary, McDonald recalled helping an elderly lady retrieve an item from the top shelf at a supermarket, only to have his penis pop out from beneath his sleeve, and it nearly hit her on the head.
Oh, you strap that down, buddy. You tie that sucker up. I don't know. I would wear like an Iron Man glove. I'd have that thing under wraps in some way. There's no way I'm going around with just a collared shirt. Something's got to be tied down.
Yeah, because what if you get excited? What if somebody turns you on? And
right.
You're susceptible to that. Is that a dick in your sleeve, or are you just happy to see me? Kind of.
Wow.
Right. They give you the old stiff arm.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Stiff arm was good.
Thank you.
So that's the guy with the penis on his arm. That's the latest.
So no, what's the latest? It's attached now. It's good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get him on the pod.
So it's in place. It's fully working. It's up. It's running.
They removed it to his arm and attached it to his nether region in a 9-hour operation performed earlier this year.
Now, is that full package or is that just peen?
Good question. I don't know. Did they mention the balls at all?
I am
No.
I'm made of questions right now with
Yeah.
this thing.
You're subconsciously talking to your wife, being like, "Don't ignore the balls." That's important. That's basically what you're doing right now, right?
No, I consciously say that.
Very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's so many questions here. What had to, why did it take so long for it to be ready? It had to grow? What does that mean? How long does it take for something like that to grow out of an arm?
Well,
how did it look when they first put it on him?
10 seconds when I was 20, but now a little longer.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
All right.
Here's my thing. I'm jealous. Like, I'm a little angry at the guy because, yeah, he had a little bit of hardship of having to have his dick on his arm.
Hardship.
I knew you were going to jump on that.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Jump
That's what
on
she
that. Okay.
But he basically got to design his dream penis with the doctors. Like, he got to put in whatever.
I hope he didn't shortchange himself.
I don't think he did, but think about. I want you to legitimately think about this for a second, not just Frank, but also. Well, Janine's already thinking about it. I can see.
You know, I'm already like.
As I was going to pose this question to Frank, I realized I could pose it to Frank and Janine. But this is also for the men and then the women, I guess, that are watching or listening. Like, what elements would if I was like, you can design your dream penis, like, what would you include in that? Like, think about that. That's a solid question. Like, what would you, if you were like,
question.
We've all built a car, right?
Lights.
We've all
drawn a penis here too.
We've all drawn a penis.
I want lights. Like you have on like a hard hat.
You want the lighting package.
You just you click a light on and it's like, I just think that would be kind of fun. The fun would wear off after like the first.
Yeah, that's
time you see the light. Yeah, maybe not lights.
But I'm talking like size, girth, curvature. You could literally. I don't know what it would take me like 3 years to design my own penis.
3 years? I feel like there's only so many categories. It's not like you're going stripes and solids here.
It's not like picking at your own vagina.
You can't go play.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. If you were to design a vagina, that would take a lot longer. There's a lot more.
Yeah. I feel like it's very basic what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, no, but that's not true though, because sometimes you get that you can have that big, huge mushroom tip, and then there's other times where it's this little tiny.
All right, that's
You got a lot
four
of
categories.
choices.
4 categories: length, girth,
Mushroom,
mushroom.
3 categories.
aerodynamic. You could choose where
Right.
that thickness might
wait.
lie.
Curve, no curve.
Curve, no curve.
All right, so that's 4.
Curve up, curve down, curve to the
That's
left.
Vibrating versus
That's all
not.
curve. I don't know if that's an option.
Oh,
Maybe
never
in
mind.
maybe in the
Oh wait,
special
we're talking about
edition.
something else here. Okay, bye.
No, it is
In
an
the-
option, but you have to get the navigation package.
Yeah, in the
before it.
SE, you get that. You have to
Yeah.
upgrade.
Correct.
You have to give it back after 3 years or 10,000 miles. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
So there's 4 or 5 things you could choose on for our thing.
Okay. What would you choose? Would you? Yeah, circumcised, not circumcised.
All right,
That's a
6
choice.
things. I'm talking. Why would it take you 3 years?
Hey, this is a very, very important subject. Okay.
It is. It would take you an hour the most. You go through each category and you go, yep, nope.
How do you
yep,
think?
nope.
Yeah. How do you do that?
We
Do
want to
you-
hear something funny.
Yes.
Wait, just because we're talking about penises right now.
Mhm.
Just because.
Why
I
do
had
we
a-
not?
I had a sex toy party, right? About, I don't know, 7 years ago.
I wasn't invited to this. Frank, were you invited?
I was not.
Okay.
And the girl was like, invite your mom and her friends. And I was like, okay. Right.
What? Ew, you did?
So I did, right?
You had your mom there?
It's not just like sex toys. It's like, like,
You
Tug war?
described it as a sex toy party.
well,
They also had
majority
salad
is-
shooters, Frank. Okay.
Right.
So
See, no, I would
Like-
have been interested in
like
the salad
body
shoot.
lotion and, stuff like that too. So one of the games that we played was you had to draw a penis on a piece of paper and you had to put it in a pile and you had to guess who drew it.
Just based on their drawing style.
that is a great
Yes.
game. That is a great game.
And I remember, because of course I had to make it awkward for my mother. She didn't make it awkward for me, but of course I had to make it so awkward for her. And
Yeah.
she did bring one of her friends, and I was like, called her out in front of her. I was like, Phyllis, who? I was like, is this
Oh, no.
yours? Is this what Daddy's looks like?
So sometimes people just can't draw. So they, it's not going to look exactly the same, the same.
Right.
But everybody could draw a penis, though.
I was like, that's what Daddy's looks like. And she was like, shut up, Sinead.
Oh, God.
it
Did you
was
really
just so
want an
funny.
answer to that question?
You know what? I still might have that.
Oh,
I still might have it someplace.
Please, I would love to frame it and get it behind Frank on the coat rack one night.
I don't think it's going to make the coat rack.
It's gonna be great. It's
Although
gonna be-
that is kind of, this right now is kind of
Phallic shape. Yeah.
yeah, you got your wife's dildo up there. What's happening?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's a loaf of bread.
That's a loaf of bread.
It's French bread.
That's
French
what she
can
said.
Never do it as good as the Italians. That's all I'm gonna
No.
say.
French bread.
Yeah. See, don't let the French design your penis. That's again. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't want.
This is never going back on.
Whose penis is it anyway, Robin? Yes, it was exactly like that.
That is a fun ass game. I almost feel like we should play that on the show. We should draw penises and see who could who can guess.
Who's going to have the audience guess?
Yeah.
Have the all right.
Yeah, we all
I
draw
can do-
penis during the
we-
show.
Well, yeah, but then what? I'm going to hold up mine and I'm not going to be able to get yours. You're going to hold up your own drawing. I mean,
Yeah, well, we wouldn't hold it up. We'll just post them up. Like you send them to, give them to me, and then I'll put them all up.
I got to send you dick pics now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that'll be the thing. I
All
think
right.
everybody wants to see the penis drawing. That's a great game. I don't know who the fuck came up with that, but that is a great game. And
It was really funny. We were all hysterical drawing these.
That was
penises.
funny.
I thoroughly enjoyed being led into the ladies' world for a second there. Feel like
See?
I found out something I shouldn't have known.
Right.
That is something. Now, typically men are not invited, but could they be invited to these things?
Oh yeah, sure.
Frank, let's you and me have a sex toy party, and we'll draw a bunch of vaginas and see if we can guess who drew what.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
Mm.
I mean, I'll have to move aside my vagina drawing night, but I could reschedule that. I could just add another one to the calendar. That's fine.
Yeah. Hint, hint. My pink taco will look a whole lot like a real taco because I'm always hungry. So that's how you'll be able to tell.
That's fine.
All right. Ulta's bad move today here. They sent out a email blast. Ulta is a, what do they call these things, Janine? Makeup?
Beauty and hair supply store, I guess.
Beauty and hair.
It's a store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kate Spade obviously took her own life 2 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere around there, whatever it was. They sent out an email blast today saying, come hang with Kate Spade and get $15 off.
They didn't realize it. They really
poor choice of words there. Is that how she?
Oh, I think so.
How that happened?
Yeah, I believe so. I almost don't even think it matters, really.
Yeah, I mean the brand name is Kate Spade, but yeah, that's gotta be run by a few people first.
Somebody's got to be there to proofread. Somebody.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, double check that work because definitely not cool.
So, in your opinion, Anthony, apology worthy?
Well, you could apologize for this if you genuinely made a mistake.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about somebody whose job it is to comment and bring humor to something. Okay. We're talking about a company that's selling a product and they just had a faux pas.
If Drew Barrymore said this as a joke on her show, she wouldn't.
What's the joke?
She said, "Oh, Kate Spade, this brand came out with a new thing, so that hey, why don't you?" And she made up the tagline like it's like a Weekend Update thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, their new tagline is, and she said that tagline is that. Should she apologize for that? And like a handful of people go, "I was offended." Should she have to apologize for something like that?
I think your example stinks, to be honest.
If she said the same thing that this,
I think you should go back to the drawing table, though.
I think you're avoiding the question.
No, I'm not, because my answer is going to be the same. If she was trying to be humorous about it and make a joke, if that's her job to entertain, that's fine. Mm-hmm. You can do that.
What if the Kate Spade people? What if her family, Kate Spade's family, was like, offensive?
Here's the thing about this, because we've all worked for companies, and you can kind of tell. This is one dope who didn't realize what they were doing and put this email blast out, probably without anybody else reading it. And I don't think that they wanted to make Kate Spade's fucking family feel bad.
Maybe what if they did?
So I don't think they should lose their jobs or anything. Like a little public, we are apologize. We made a mistake here is fine.
Yeah, so sometimes apologies are warranted.
When a makeup company makes a bad suicide pun, they can apologize. Yeah, that's fair.
So then, who are you to tell? Why are you the arbiter of when apologies are necessary?
I'll tell you why. I have a microphone.
Oh,
so do I. Why can't I be the one?
Changes everything.
Why can't I be the one that decides when apologies are necessary?
You are.
I believe that children are our future.
Why you chose to handle the mic?
Hey, he's unmuting, muting, whatever.
But yeah, that's a big screw up, and that is definitely apology worthy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying apologies are never warranted, but they're rarely warranted today in the entertainment landscape.
Oh, there's definite, too far.
We want people to apologize. I'll tell you. Okay, let me give you the example that you're looking for. This would be like making Ulta. This would be like making Ulta apologize for selling beauty products. They'd be like, "Why are you selling beauty products? They're offensive."
That doesn't make sense. No, that's not.
No, he's right.
Thank you.
Why is that right? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense.
That makes exactly sense. That's their job. Their job is to sell beauty and hair products.
Okay.
It would be like a bald person going in there and being like, this is offensive. I don't have hair. Why are you rubbing it in my face, all these hair products?
That is
And them going, we're sorry that you feel that way.
That is not the same thing.
They should be like, get the fuck out of here, Baldy. We're trying to move some fucking product. And you're making everybody with hair feel bad.
I feel like if that
Why
ever
are
happened,
you here? Why are you in this section?
Yeah, this is the hair section, Baldy, okay?
I feel like if that ever happened, they would probably say, we're not apologizing to you. This is our market. This is who we're selling to. We're not selling to you. You're not our customer. They wouldn't care.
No, they should be in there going,
someone,
excuse me, but the Mr. Clean auditions are fucking down the block, okay? This is for people who buy and shit for their hair.
All right. Fantastic.
You asked, and I answered.
I really didn't.
Bill Murray answered his accusation
Thank you, Bert.
that were
Go ahead.
lobbied against him.
Oh.
Yeah. And surprise, surprise, he's trying to act like an adult. Saw that coming.
I know it's correct, but addresses, for some reason, looks wrong.
Addresses?
Doesn't that look wrong?
Yeah. Too many D's and S's and E's.
D's. It's like ridiculous. How many do we need? All right, so he addressed the accusations. I saw this interview. He was on, I don't remember the show, but he was on the show and he was talking about the whole thing. He took like a few minutes to talk about it. And he said he was doing something that was, he thought, comical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he thought he was just making a joke or having fun. And he said, well, I kind of like the angle that he was like, if I can't, you know, if I'm an old dog and if I can't keep learning, then what's the point? So, you know, he was like, was a learning experience. I know there was a line that was too far, you know, for some people. And we're talking about that. I want to come to an understanding with this other person and, you know, get on the same ground and for this to continue and the project to move forward. You know, I don't want this to be, and I get what he's talking about. Like if I crossed the line with her, I'm sorry, you know, that whole thing. I think he apologized again. But he wants to find common ground. And he said it was a joke gone too far. It wasn't anything, I don't think, sexual. I don't remember what the joke was. I don't know what exactly he did.
I think it was slightly flirtatious with like him kind of touching her hair. That's what people were saying. He didn't say that.
Right.
But that's what people are saying.
Okay.
But I'm kind of worried at this point. I hate to say this, but it kind of feels like, not that this is some grand conspiracy to get publicity for the movie. Meaning that I don't think they sat in the room prior to production. They were like, okay, I got an idea, everybody, for marketing. We're going to shut this thing down 3 weeks in and act like it's a Me Too thing. I don't think that's what happened. But I do kind of think there was a little animosity perhaps on the set between two people. Maybe there was an incident that, from what it sounds like you just said, wasn't all that serious and could have been squashed over lunch or something. And they took that moment. Like, I feel like in those instances, somebody gets in the room and goes, we could probably stop production for the weekend, you know, have them meet separately and maybe meet all together and see if we can hammer this out. And if he's sorry and she's okay with it and blah, blah, blah. Where they say that, or they go, or we could take 2 full weeks off, leak this to the press, and they'll probably wind up coming back and being fine with each other. We can still do all that stuff, but we can get if we shut it down for fucking 2 weeks, we could probably get a ton of press off of this. I do kind of think that happens.
That's very cynical of you.
It is. I wish I didn't grow up in New York. Thanks for addressing that. Yeah.
No problem. I think that shutting it down for the weekend or 2 weeks, you'd probably get the same publicity. Doesn't matter how long it's shut down. It's just shut down.
Yeah, but I think that's the point, because but what I mean by that is they probably could have been like, well, let's just take the day and then we'll get them together for lunch tomorrow and we'll see if we get, because by all accounts, it doesn't seem like this was that big of a deal. It seems like a little spat between two coworkers.
Yeah, but apparently it's a big enough deal for the the woman, I don't know who she is in this case. I don't think they've said who it was.
No, they alleged, they're kind of hinting that it's, I forget who the name of the actress is, but I don't think it's been confirmed yet.
So I apparently, I mean, she could have probably stepped in and said, but I feel like she is part of it and said, no, let's shut it down and work this out. So it's a little bit on, I feel like she took it and said, this deserved a little more attention. So maybe it wasn't up to the production company and they shut it down. Maybe it was her, and everybody jumped on board because they took it seriously. Who knows?
It could have been. I just feel like it's the movie company ultimately that winds up leaking this because,
well, you got how many people working on this movie?
Hundreds of people. But here's my thing with that.
It's going to leak.
What you're saying is entirely possible. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. It is. But I feel like if you're a gaffer, if you're a production assistant, and that's your livelihood, you don't really want that movie going away because that's what you're working on for the next 2 months. That's your paycheck. So I think like blowing that shit up to the press ain't helping you at all.
It helps if you're getting paid to blow it up to the press.
I mean, I guess so, but what could that possibly be?
Or
compared to 2 months, 3 months of work, of actual work.
Or it gets shut down and they don't think it's going to get shut down very long. I mean, it's shut down either way. Let's say, you're the gaffer or whoever, and it's shut down no matter if you leak it or not. You're leaking it, just puts more money in your pocket, no matter
leaking it. Leaking it, maybe it doesn't come back. It becomes such a huge thing that they just decide to scrap the film altogether.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't think of that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Just seemed like a little bit of a thing there.
Welcome to the club. High vibes. Love it.
I like that name.
High vibes.
High vibes.
And the Y in there, very cash.
Very cash. Also, if that was a magazine, I would subscribe.
Right?
I'd be like, have you read the latest article in High Vibes this month? It's really good.
Exactly. And I'd be like, put your magazine online because I'm not subscribed to a magazine.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay. So welcome, new member. Do like High Vibes did and become a member, everyone who isn't a member and watching.
Yeah.
You could do that in the join button below the video on YouTube or at 808.com. 3 levels to get in on. You get exclusive content.
Hang
you
on,
get to
Frank.
suggest stuff. Boop.
There's tree levels.
I said 3 levels.
You said 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. There are 3 levels.
Yeah.
And you get to pick your level, the one you're comfortable with. You get all the...
Read it like the Canarsie kid I know you are. Go ahead, Canarsie kid.
You got 3 levels to go through here. You got the boppity boop level, the bingity bang level.
The first level is a little bit. You got a little bit of a level.
A little bit. You get a little bit of a level here. You get a little bit. You got the viola level, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You soak them a little bit. And then you got the, what's the second? Hey, asshole, what's the second level?
The head level.
Eh? All right, I'm done. You got the head, and then you got the, that's what she said level. All great levels. Each one has its own stuff. And you get to be a member, just like High Vibes. And a lot of the people in our chat, you get to suggest topics for us. You get to come on the show for every now and then for members only stuff. It's great stuff. Great stuff.
Join that channel. Look, you get all the badges.
Look at all the badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
Those little badges, a little bit.
Go little badges, a little bit of badges here.
Want to join? Go ahead. Join.
You know, a little stemming.
A little stemming.
But all good stuff. So welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. High Vibes. What's his name? Niro's on TikTok now.
Is he really?
And the funniest TikTok he put out, I guess they filmed like a whole skit, like he's on TikTok.
How is this not a topic tonight?
Yeah, I know. It's old. It's a couple days old, actually. It's a couple of weeks old, actually. I think I just kind of forgot about it. But in one, so they made, like, you could tell, like, they shot a bunch of stuff, like that he was picking. It was this whole skit. That was okay. the fucking funniest one, they put out a clip of him like in between takes where he's looking at somebody, and the fucking caption is like, the face of an Academy Award winner while he's watching some high school flunky set up a light for a TikTok.
That's
He just looks so disgusted. He's just sitting there waiting.
fucking guy. I gotta wait for this kid.
And it's so fucking true. Because I mean, the guy was in he's in The Godfather, for Christ's sake, and now he's fucking in a TikTok video watching some flunky knock
That
over
is
a light.
hilarious.
That's fucking funny.
You gotta love him.
Yeah, I feel bad though. He wouldn't be on TikTok at all if it wasn't. I hear that wife of his is taking him to the cleaners over this divorce that they're going through.
Is that still going?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I hear really horrible things that like he wanted to retire or whatever, but now he's got to like take jobs and shit because he's got to, pay her.
Jeez.
Not that she doesn't. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying overall, you live your whole life working, and you want to get to that spot where you can be like, all right.
Yeah. What is he now? He's got to be 80 years old. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's up there.
he is up there.
But
And now I can't find his TikTok. It's just like 100,000 other TikToks. Anyway, fuck it.
yeah, he's on there. That's good.
Yeah, he's definitely on there. And the first skit was like he's answering the phone. He's like, "Hello." He's like, "Oh, I'm on TikTok." Yeah, is this it's like so shitty and cheesy, but that fucking one little thing was the best. It was the absolute best.
He never disappoints.
Never. Here's another one who doesn't disappoint, Frankie C. The fucking George Carlin. Super excited about this new
Not
documentary.
disappointing from beyond the grave.
Yeah. New doc all about George Carlin. It's Judd Apatow, who, if you saw his one on Gary Shandling, it was phenomenal. It was so
I did
good.
not.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, dude.
I like Gary Shandling too.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
All right.
It's so fucking good.
Is it on what, Netflix?
HBO. Yeah, HBO. And so HBO, I think during the pandemic, they just like went to Judd and they were like, "Do you want to do anything?" And he's like, I don't know. They were like, "You did that Gary Shandling thing was fucking awesome. You want to do something like that on somebody else?" And he's like, "I guess George Carlin, if you really want one." And that's kind of how it all came together.
Remember they asked us too if we wanted to do something. We were like, "Nah."
Yeah, we passed on that.
We're doing this. So.
We got YouTube. We don't need your bullshit.
Right.
Your fucking money, HBO money.
We do HBO minimum, and that's it.
That's right.
We don't go max.
We don't go max. We should name our YouTube channel that HBO minimum. That's pretty good.
HBO min.
Min.
I get it's something there.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to this because Carlin is the man.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember what was that special? Like, it was like 94-ish.
Oh, which one? I mean, the one where he's all in black and he's on like there's like a New York background. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much did we fucking recite that special to each other growing up?
Amazing. Remember, we had tickets to see him, and he died 2 months or a month or so before.
It was like a month.
A month before the show.
I'll never forget that. We scored tickets. I was like, "Frank, we got the tickets," and he's like, "Awesome."
We're going to see Carlin, and then he dies a month before the show.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Why does the bad stuff happen to us?" It's just messed up. It's not cool.
It's not cool, but it was a good point at the time,
Yeah, well. No, Carlin was the man.
You know, it's a little thing that I thought was the coolest ever from him. At the beginning of that stand-up show, do you remember it? He's walking on the streets of Manhattan, and he walks into a door.
And just walks right on stage and goes, "Hey, hey, hey!" And he just jumps in.
Yeah, I mean, between the street, the amazing between the street and the stage was like 4 feet. I don't know what theater it was at, but he walks right in and just fucking goes.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking that is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
That was awesome. That, I mean, and how he's able, like I know everybody hones their craft, but the way he lines everything up, and it's just perfectly worded, but there's so much to it.
Yeah.
Everything had so much depth. It wasn't just he's talking about a date he went on. He's just it's so everything, every subject had these layers, and it was just very brilliantly crafted.
Every word counts. Every word meant something. I'll say this because Seinfeld is a genius at it, but he still hasn't reached the level of Carlin as far as word craft goes.
You know who one of the best stand-up specials to this day that in my opinion, Eddie Izzard, Dressed to Kill. It's like over 2 hours, and it's just nonstop, and every joke, every one of them hits, and it's I don't know how he's able to do all that material. 2 hours. He's up there for over 2 hours, and it's just nonstop. Everything worked, and it was great. One of my favorites.
That's a long ass time. But you know what I loved about Carlin, which I don't remember that in the Izzard one. And again, this is not one thing is worse than the other, but the rare ones, the really, really good ones, the special ones, because there's a lot of people that are so fucking funny.
Sure.
But his shit was funny, and it was also philosophical. Like there was life lessons and viewpoints and philosophy to his humor. And what's interesting is like today you look at like a Jon Stewart or a Trevor Noah or a Bill Maher even, right? Who all kind of walk that line of political and, this is how you should be living your life. They get a fair amount of flack towards them. You never really heard anybody getting mad at George Carlin for political reasons when he was clearly left leaning. He had you know what I'm saying? A lot of issues with Republicans. I never really remember any like mass like people going like, well, he's fucking stay away from that lib. He was never even cast in that light. It was always sort of this well-crafted, wonderfully produced, and like I said, philosophical message behind everything. Like he was able to kind of tell you where we were fucking up as people without anybody feeling bad about what political side that they were on, even though some kind of were sliding towards more one side than the other, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, he it's weird. I guess I don't know if it had to do with the time, like his stand-up was always about that. I mean, yeah, he had some nonsense stuff like the 7 dirty words and he had the weather guy and all that stuff worked, but when he got like I'd say 90% of it was about the state of everything, today, in his time, and that was him being himself and doing his own thing. Like he owned that. If a comic today just came out of the gates like that and didn't throw one little remark that shocked people, if his whole stand-up was shocking, I think that would be different, because that's maybe a little bit of how he got to say all that stuff that he said, and because it was him.
Because he became a rebel, kind of. It was more about rebelling against what was not right, and that's where the 7 dirty words came from, and then that's where his stuff eventually led to into the 90s.
Yeah, and I think social media has a lot to do with, like, there was no social media in his day, so the only time you heard any kind of feedback was on TV, and you didn't really hear that much about Carlin unless you saw his specials, and no one was saying anything negative about Carlin. So you didn't. I mean, if Carlin was on social media, if he was around right now, I'm sure there'd be people that would be like, "Oh, he said this and that was messed up." I'm sure there would be the people on the right going, "Oh, I can't believe he said this. He doesn't believe in this. He doesn't do that." I'm sure he would get a lot of that if that was going on today. I think social media has a lot to do with it.
I think
sure
you're
I'm
right.
not the only one that thinks that.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But I also think he was able to separate himself out from some of those political comics where you never thought he was political. Again, you thought he was just being more philosophical. It was more about life from meta standpoint, from like stepping back, from a grand scheme of things, kind of a perspective, versus like this this thing or this issue or this whatever. It was more like being a decent fucking human being.
Right. It was more morality over politics.
Right.
It was more being a decent person over being left or right. But most of what it was. You're right. Most of what he said was left. I can't think of anything he said that was right leaning.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because most of what he said applied to the right wing Christian conservatives then, but I feel like that same mentality now applies to the woke left. That's where, like, it's all censorship of speech based off of their own personal beliefs.
Mhm.
Whereas that was a right wing thing back in the 90s. It's now become a fucking left thing, which is odd how that fucking swapped out.
I don't think it's swapped. I think
it's swapped.
It's different. No, it's different because the right still has that. They're banning books in this. They're banning books. There's the don't say gay. There's a lot of that censorship.
Good point.
Stuff, because they say we don't want censorship, free speech. But then there's the don't say gay bill. They're banning books, and they want to shut down, stop the press and everything, the mainstream media. It's like, well, if you don't believe in free speech, or if you believe in free speech, and none of this should bother you.
It's interesting when you said stop the press, it just triggered a thing. I'd like to bring that back to social. I'd love a huge button somewhere in a factory where we could just slam it, and then there's no more tweets until you fire up the machines again.
I think every 10 years there should be a reset button on all social media.
Just take a breather.
We start again. Just these were 10 years, and they still exist. They're there, but now everybody just step back. You have to come up with a new account. You have to start over, fresh.
This is crazy talk. What are you talking? Don't listen to this guy.
All right. I don't know.
We're trying to build something here, pal. You're giving it away already.
Oh, whoops.
No, I'll tell you what. You ever watch Ready Player One, the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. That movie was brilliant. Spoiler alert. Let's give everybody a minute to tune off here. I don't like ruining movies for people. I come to go in cold. But I'm going to give you a little insight on the end of the movie. So,
yeah, Ready Player One.
Mute it. I'll wave vigorously back at the screen when it's time to come back. Ready Player One is about like the future of the internet, this metaverse, if you will, virtual reality of the internet that some guy created and decided that he was going to give away because he didn't want any one corporation to own it. Pretty brilliant, right? I mean, how great would Facebook, Twitter, and all those other fucking things be if that's the way it was kind of done? And so this one kid figures out a way to break the game, and he wins and all that shit. So he wins the new internet world. And the first thing he does, what does he do? He shuts it down like 2 days a week or some shit like that, or 3 days a week. I forget what he like.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He literally turns it off. And I remember thinking that would be, how great would social media be if it was just off on Sundays? Like just
that
off.
Would be nice. Exactly. That's what I mean. Something like that. We just need a time away from it.
Yeah.
And then we come back and we jump back in the pool. I get it.
I mean, people kind of have to do that themselves, and they should. Because, again, you don't want news not moving around. That's the way news moves around these days. But it is kind of fun to think about just fucking shutting it down.
Just flip the switch. Monday morning, we turn the switch back on.
Yeah. I went on a crazy drunk Twitter tirade over the weekend. I don't know if you caught that.
I caught some of that. Yeah, you were in rare form.
Couple of one too many cocktails for your old pal Ant on the old Twitter machine. I'm almost terrified to go back and see.
I wouldn't. Don't go back.
Okay. You know what? You're right. I'm not going back. Why
it's
am I
not
doing
worth it. It's not worth it. Don't do that to yourself.
I felt like I had a couple of good lines, but
yeah.
And David Spade liked one of our comments, which I thought was nice.
That is nice. Thank you, David Spade.
It was a nice thing to do for David.
I'm sure he's watching and he's a big fan of the show.
Well, he should be. I mean, here's the other thing while we're on it, too. I honestly feel like David Spade is legit a wine that is getting so much fucking better with age. Just
really?
Everything he's on, I am just laughing hysterical at him. He's just so... he's so fucking funny. He's so much more funny now than he was 20 years
Saturday Night
ago.
Live days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way funnier. It's a shame fucking Farley died because I can't imagine how good that podcast would be because that's basically what they would be doing right now.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They
Can
would
you
totally
imagine?
be doing it. Yeah. Him and
That would
Dana
be-
Carvey have a podcast, but I haven't listened to it, but I want to.
That would
But,
be unbelievable.
That would be unbelievable. But he went on the Tonight Show and he leaned into Jimmy Fallon and he goes, quick question is a little embarrassing. He's like, are you Fallon or Kimmel? And I just thought that was so fucking funny. And he's like, because I was talking to a couple people backstage and they weren't sure either. So I just want, just the way he fucking said it. And the fucking audience is sitting there just silent. Just crickets. Fallon made a joke the other day. I almost DM'd him because I forget now who it was, but he said something and it was so fucking funny, but it was a little bit of an insult. He was like, no, I'm just kidding. Like he had to say that for his shitty audience. Like obviously he's joking. He doesn't wish ill will on his guest. It was a
So what
joke.
did he say?
I forgot what I shouldn't even brought it up because I forgot what it was. But it was so fucking, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just kidding." He's like, "Oh, just kidding." Like, you don't have to fucking point it out. Just make your jokes, and if people don't know it's jokes, they can go fuck themselves.
Well, see, you were gonna DM him.
I was gonna DM him. I was so upset with him.
Can't you call him or text him?
No, I can't call him.
He's like your best friend.
He's not my best friend, but I can DM him.
Okay.
I'm not saying he would answer, especially if I was criticizing him. That would be a bold move. But the thought occurred. Not that I thought I'm going to DM him. I thought I could, if I was crazy, DM him. Stop doing this.
You could. You still could this time.
I can still do it right now if we wanted to.
I think you should do it right now, live on the air with us.
I save those moments to DM him for things like, "You're so great. I think this was really funny." That's what I save those for.
All right.
Ass kissing moments.
Yeah. Well, you got every now and then.
That's all I got. You got anything else there, Frankie C?
I think that's all I got too.
All right. You tapped.
I ain't got no more. I
thought you did good today.
That's compliment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, even you got to get one every now and then. That was a good one.
I'll take today. That's fine. On Monday. A Monday show is hard to come out of the gates swinging on a Monday.
I really wish you would have answered what kind of a penis would you design. I'd love to know what kind of things you'd put in there, but we could think about it. You don't have to have an answer right now.
Yeah, that's a tough one because if I had to sit there and think about it, like if it was multiple choice, that'd be a lot easier. But if I had to come up with my own design, I don't know.
Well, I love it. I love it because, like, I don't know if you do this. I do this. I feel like most men do. Like every now and then, I'll just go on whatever car site and just build a car. Right? I'll be like, oh,
really?
I'd want these wheels, and I'd want like this color and this interior. Like every now and then, I do that.
See, if I had to design I would want it to have like a phone case where it's interchangeable designs on the outside. Like one day I want it to like say something cool, and the other day I want it to look like tie-dye or something.
Try to have
one day I might want to have like a handle on it for what the hell.
See, you can't talk to this guy.
Glitter.
All right, that's it for us.
Maybe it takes a picture every now and then. I don't know.
Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, for liking, for subscribing, for becoming a member, most of all. Appreciate all of it. Catch you guys on the next.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.